Take two, because last time I wasn't recording the internet's audio feed because I'm an idiot. All right. By the way, I'm sorry that I don't look very pretty or anything like that, but, you know, it's a web camera, or at least, you know, it's probably my face, because no matter what web camera I look through, you can't polish a turd. Okay? I've actually emailed this to the Wizard's Words and Guardian Mo. Guardian Mo actually appeared on the Wizard's Words after a interview with Paul Burgess, and I'm wondering whether or not, this is only in my opinion, and a few others' opinion, i.e. people that we've interviewed on the Wizard's Words channels, I'm wondering whether or not Rupert Lowe has been put off by that particular person who, the head should be big, who Paul Burgess mentioned. You know, so anyway, make that big. Let me make that big rather than this. Yeah. Anyway, let's go. Saviour. That's what we do.
To each other. I never agreed to lead Advance UK. We had a big meeting with all of our staff present after I was cleared by the CPS and I was out of reform. Because
what does he mean by a meeting with his staff? Does he mean that the public haven't actually got a voice within his party or his movement or whatever he wants to call it? What does he mean by with his staff? Because if he'd have listened to the public's voice, he would realise that Advance UK are actually with Rupert Lowe. Make it make sense, because I can't.
Ben is a good man, and I think, you know, a lot of what he says is very sensible. I think he's a patriot. I think he does want the best for Britain.
Are you a patriot, Rupert? I hope so. We're imagining so. What do you mean by staff? What staff? Our structure is the bottom, as in the people, such as me, such as Wiz, such as Guardian Mo. It's all of those people, all those combined voices, which are able to make it into the top echelons of that particular party. Now, what do you mean by staff? Do you mean people like Floss, who we've recently kind of learned about from other college members, but it's a work in progress. Don't quote me on that. Okay. What's going on?
But I didn't want a party. As I said to him, a party at that stage was divisive. I wanted a movement, which we've got, and we've got our own fantastically loyal people who support.
So have we. We've got the college members, and the college members are actually influenced, believe it or not, are actually influenced by the public voice, and that's what we're trying to show on the Wizard's Words channel. I'll leave all the links in the description down below. Please check them out. Don't just go saying, oh, you look crap on camera and stuff like that, or you're talking gibberish. I'm not talking gibberish. I'm talking facts. I'm talking from the fecking heart. And if you did, you would be able to talk from the heart and say, yeah, I think this is really bad. What on earth is going? Because if Rupert Lowe decides to make another party, I'm out. I'm out. I'm no longer going to be doing any kind of political commentating or anything like that. I'm out. If he can't see the sense that the Advance UK party was made for him, Rupert Lowe, with Rupert Lowe in mind, then something's going off in the absolute upper echelons of both parties. See what I mean? I just can't make sense of it. This is a logic bouncing around in my head. I just cannot make sense of what on earth Rupert Lowe is planning. And it needs to be over because it's a nightmare at the moment. It's a nightmare. Who on earth are we supposed to believe in?
And I think they would like to see us now find a solution to delivering this change that you and I think is now necessary. It's going to be hugely hard work. It's going to be very complex. And I don't think any of us can actually say how the course is going to plot itself. But Ben wanted a party. I wanted a movement. Initially, he said he'd support my movement, and then we could turn into a party when we were ready to do that.
You wanted a movement. Ben did say publicly that he supports your movement, and so do we, Rupert. The Advance UK members, the underdogs of Advance, but we're not even underdogs. We're able to make our voice heard within parliamentary debates, within the upper echelons of Advance UK. I do not understand what your problem is. Is the problem something to do with some kind of staff that we've heard about from Paul Burgess through, once again, the Wizard's Words channel? Is it something to do with a problem with those people? Because if it's a problem to do with those people, we can put pressure onto Ben Habib or the college members, which we're planning on doing. Pardon me. Oh, kebab. Which we're actually doing in the form of an Advanced UK YouTube hub. We've been recognised as a party for 2 months. Yet Rupert Lowe is hinting. Make that make sense to an ADHD brain. Hinting, political speak, on creating another right-wing party. This will truly split the right-wing vote. This will truly split my brain in half. I'm just going back to playing games. If this is what he's planned on doing, create another party, rather than actually joining the Advance UK party, which was already tailor-made for Rupert Lowe, unless of course he only wants to talk with staff rather than the dregs of frickin' humanity that most of these politicians don't, wipe the shoes on. What's it mean, a staff meeting? What staff? Where was this meeting? What was this meeting about? The people can give their opinion via Advance UK in order to influence whatever is happening within the college, and then the college need to report or vote policies in, manifestos in, due to us, me, you, the people who pay £20 a year, and the public who don't pay anything, because our channels, such as the Wizard's Words channels, we are influenced by what you say, what everyone says. I hope this makes sense. Anyway.
But he decided to set up Advance UK. And I've never ever publicly been anything other than polite and complimentary about Ben, because he's a good man.
And Ben has been nothing but polite and complimentary about you, Rupert. And the people are getting fecked off with this parliamentary speak that you all speak. Speak what you mean, because I can't understand. I'm sure many of my viewers can't understand what the hell you are talking about. What's your issue? Why not just join Advance? What's your issue? What is the issue within Advance UK that you don't like? We would vote because we have influence on the college. We would influence the college to join your party if they don't already want to, which I'm sure that they do already want to. All right? And then what are you going to do? Then you're going to put it all to a staff meeting? Well, tell me in the comments, please, because I just cannot work it out. I can't work it out. Even if I hadn't had a third of a bottle of whiskey, I still would not be able to afford work this shit out. Okay.
So, but that was the philosophical difference between us. He didn't want to wait, so he set up Advance. I've set up Restore, and I guess the question is there a way in which those two bodies can work together? And if there isn't, what do we do? And that's the question that is still got to be resolved. And I will resolve that once the rape gang inquiry is done.
How exactly are you going to resolve that? Are you going to ask your staff? I can't do inverted quote, all right, with his hand. I can't do inverted quotes with his hand. But that was the end of the particular snippet. Yeah, I can't do inverted quotes with his hand. I can do Buddy Rabbit. Oh no, with that, yeah, I remember. My grandma told me that, you see, because when he had me. Anyway, it's nothing to do with my hand. Let me know if you want to see more about my hand. By the way, I don't mind explaining everything to you. It's fine and dandy. Yeah, make it make sense. Make it make sense. So that was brand new in about 5 hours ago on the Dan Wootton show. And same as I say, I just can't make head and tail of what they're saying. Okay, guys. Love you a long time. See you soon. Bye.